I, 27-year-old female, have my cousin, 34-year-old female, my nephew, 10-year-old male, and niece, 6-year-old female, coming to stay with me for 4 days next month. My nephew is autistic and has some food troubles. In some ways, he's not a picky eater. He eats a very balanced diet and is willing to try most things if he's given ample time to mentally prepare. That being said, he won't eat anything without ranch dressing. He puts it on everything, including sushi and soups. If it does not have ranch, he won't touch it, and has a full-blown meltdown if you try to force him. He keeps a little thermos with ranch on him anywhere he goes, just in case. My sister really wants to go and have some foods she has been missing, such as Thai and Indian. I think that's great, but I know these restaurants don't serve ranch. I called around to the restaurants to see if they would allow me to bring outside ranch into the restaurant due to my nephew's disability, but they said they can't make any exceptions for outside food. I told my cousin as such, and she insisted we could just sneak some ranch into the restaurants, and it will be fine since she apparently does it all the time at home. I refused. I feel really uncomfortable with the idea, and I like these restaurants and don't want to risk getting banned. I know we can just order takeout, and both the kids would prefer to stay at my place anyway. I told my sister if she was that insistent on going out to eat, I could watch the kids while she went out, or stay home with just my nephew, and she could enjoy the meal herself. My cousin was horribly offended by this suggestion and has been blowing up my phone, saying I'm a jerk, trying to prevent her from having a nice vacation with her kids, and that I'm ableist despite being autistic myself. I really don't think I'm being a jerk, but I'm really bad at understanding social norms, and now her husband and my aunt are texting me, saying I'm horrible for suggesting she can't have dinner out with her children. She's been threatening not to come visit me and just go stay with her parents, who live 2 hours away in the opposite direction. So am I the idiot? Edit. Wow, I did not expect so many people to have an opinion on this. Thank you for all the comments, even the people saying I'm a jerk. I am slowly getting through all the comments to answer a couple of things that keep coming up. 1. I wanted to be accurate for the story, so I called her my cousin. She is my cousin technically, but she's basically my sister and I call her as such, what we call each other, and my tired brain didn't filter that properly. 2. My nephew is working with a professional to help expand his food preferences and ability to eat food without ranch. There's been a small amount of success, but the main way there's been any success is by planning with him what he wants to try weeks in advance. He now eats rice and white bread occasionally without it, and basically putting the food on the table and giving him as long as he needs to try it. This includes letting him leave the table to heavily stim. He likes running around in circles before he tries it, and it does not always work. 3. In regards to why my nephew eats everything with ranch, it is a flavour thing. He's managed to express this to us. We have been experimenting to try and figure out why that flavour is okay, but most other flavours aren't, but there hasn't been a lot of success yet. 4. A lot of people who are saying I'm a jerk are saying that I'm being irrational about getting in trouble with these restaurants, and maybe that's fair. Part of my autism is that I'm extremely rule-breaking avoidant. Like, obviously some rules have to be broken in life or death situations, but something like bringing ranch into a restaurant when I've been told no does not feel life or death, and I'm at risk of struggling and having a meltdown myself if I sneak ranch into the restaurant after explicitly being told no. One of the few things I still really struggle with. Not to mention, some of these restaurants, for me personally, are safe spaces where I know I can eat most of the menu, and it doesn't trigger me in any way, so I feel like I'd be putting that at risk. I'm going to talk with my cousin with my nephew on the phone and see if we can all come up with something together. The suggestion about letting him eat before and then just get a drink at the restaurant might work, and one of the restaurants is next to a gelato place that I know he can pour ranch over without them caring. Also, this isn't some discrete amount of ranch. If he can see the food, it's not enough ranch. If it was a discrete amount, I might be more comfortable. Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. The restaurants told you aren't allowed to bring ranch dressing? Never heard of this. Are you sure you didn't got them wrong? Maybe by the way you asked the question, and they got the impression you wouldn't order G, but only eat your home-brought food. If you order and pay for it, I see no harm for the restaurant if he adds his ranch dressing. Just put it in a nice bottle, a coloured one or G, and if someone asks, just say that's holy water and needs to be applied to everything he eats for religious reasons. I never heard of a business banning paying customer who didn't do any harm to them or another guest, or was a disturbance for other guests. I had to take some pills for a while just before eating lunch a few years back, and they were rather big, so it was easier to swallow with a yogurt drink. I always took my pills and my drink out to take it, and then put it back in the bag. Since I ordered and paid for food and drink, they never said anything. Why would they? They didn't miss any sale there. Comment 2. Not the idiot. I've worked in restaurants on and off for years, and it's all about cross-contamination. The fact that you offered to babysit as well so she could enjoy the food without stress was kind of you. Yeah, it sucks that the world doesn't cater to us, ND. But you did your research, gave alternatives and attempted to find a way to suit everyone. Sounds like she is throwing a tantrum from not getting her own way, but is there also a chance this is a burned-out mum projecting her frustrations due to being desperate for a bit of normality? Also, the word ableist is getting excessively thrown around nowadays. Try not to let this wear you down, edit, for people replying to my comment. There have been several valid reasons below provided by other Redditors as to why it's considered cross-contamination. I didn't make up the rule, but unfortunately it is one that both employees and customers are expected to follow. Comment 3. Not the idiot. I think you're allowed to be uncomfortable with them bringing ranch dressing into a restaurant you're frequent when you know it would not be permitted. How about she goes with the kids and you don't accompany them? She can try bringing the ranch with her if she pleases, but you don't have to be there to face the management staff and have them recognise you and associate you with their behaviour. Also, no biggie, but a bit confused about if these are your sister's kids, so they'd be your niece and nephew that your cousin is bringing, but you also referred to them as being your cousin's kids, making them your cousins too. Now for the update. After reading everyone's advice and perspectives, I wanted to return and share what happened during my sister's visit. It turned out to be such an unexpected, beautiful few days, and I'm still riding the high from all the positive moments we shared. First off, I took to heart what many of you suggested about communicating openly with my cousin. So I called her up, apologising if I'd come across as insensitive, and explained that my offer to babysit was truly just about giving her some time to relax. To my relief, she was really understanding once we cleared the air, and actually admitted that she was stressed about the visit. When my sister and her kids arrived, I was a little nervous but determined to make it work. My nephew, bless his heart, had his ranch dressing packed, enough to flavour a small farm's worth of veggies. I'd also stocked up on his favourites, just to be sure he felt comfortable. The first night, we all stayed in and cooked a meal together. I'd found a recipe for a Thai-inspired noodle dish that could be customised for each person. My nephew got involved too, carefully adding his ranch to his portion, and to our surprise it wasn't half bad. The next day, my sister did go out to explore some local dining spots with my cousin, while I planned a fun day at home with the kids. We ended up building a blanket fort and watching movies, and even my usually reserved nephew joined in with enthusiasm. The laughter in that fort, it's something I'll never forget. On the third day, my niece suggested we all go out for a meal together. She had the brilliant idea of calling ahead to an Indian restaurant to explain the situation with my nephew's food preferences. And guess what? They were so understanding. They agreed to let him use his ranch as long as we were discreet. That meal, with all of us around the table enjoying different flavours, ranch included, felt like a victory. Before they left, my cousin pulled me aside. She apologised for jumping to conclusions and thanked me for being so accommodating. My sister hugged me tighter than she has in years, whispering a heartfelt thank you for the memories. So there it is. A visit I was dreading turned into a reminder of the power of communication, understanding, and a little bit of ranch dressing. Thanks to this community for the support and advice. It truly helped me navigate a tricky situation and turn it into something special. Now for the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. It's clear from your story that you put in a significant amount of effort to ensure that your sister's visit went smoothly, which is commendable. Acknowledging the advice you received and then applying it by apologising to your cousin demonstrates a level of maturity and willingness to improve the situation. The fact that you went out of your way to accommodate your nephew's preferences with the ranch dressing shows that you were considerate and thoughtful about his needs. Moreover, organising a fun day at home for the kids and choosing a restaurant that was accommodating indicates that you prioritised the enjoyment and comfort of your guests. Your sister's gratitude and your cousin's apology suggest that your actions were not only appreciated, but also instrumental in creating a positive experience for everyone involved. Throughout this, you've emphasised the importance of communication and understanding, which are key components in any relationship, and it's evident that these values guided your approach to the visit. Comment 2. Not the idiot. Your story exemplifies the essence of family and the lengths we go to for our loved ones. The proactive steps you took to mend the relationship with your cousin by clarifying intentions highlight the importance of resolving misunderstandings before they escalate. It's also worth noting the cultural sensitivity you exhibited by choosing an Indian restaurant for the meal out, which likely provided an inclusive environment for your sister and her family. This decision not only catered to the nephew's food preferences, but also demonstrates a respect for diversity and a desire to introduce different cuisines in a considerate manner. Your reflection on the visit shows a deep understanding of the role empathy plays in family dynamics and how taking the time to address each other's needs can turn a challenging situation into a cherished memory. It's this level of empathy and foresight that makes your actions praiseworthy and sets a positive example for others in similar situations. Comment 3. Not the idiot. Not the. From your narrative, it's evident that you value family and the quality of time spent together. What stands out is your ability to reflect on past advice and apply it constructively to enhance your interactions with your sister and her family. Your efforts in accommodating the nephew's dietary preferences, such as adding ranch dressing to meals, may seem trivial to some, but it speaks volumes about your attentiveness to small details that contribute to a person's comfort and enjoyment. This consideration likely played a significant role in creating a harmonious atmosphere during the visit. Additionally, the fact that you facilitated an enjoyable day for the kids at home showcases your commitment to family bonding and creating a welcoming environment for everyone. Your sister's expression of gratitude is a testament to the success of your approach. By prioritizing clear communication and understanding, you transformed a potentially difficult visit into an opportunity to strengthen familial bonds, which is an admirable outcome. Now for the next story. My parents have my sister, 14-year-old female, and me, 17-year-old male. My sister is autistic. She's very verbal and has issues with social cues and generally isn't very easy to be around. She says pretty mean things to people and she's the worst to me. She does not have any kind of filter and I struggle to be around her. Sometimes I have to leave the table when we're having dinner or leave the house when she starts because I want to so badly explode on her. My parents always tell me I need to understand it's the autism. She's learning, she's working with therapists on the behavior. They will tell me over and over to be understanding. On more than one occasion, my parents scolded me for walking away, and I asked them directly if they would rather I tell her to frick off. My parents said I shouldn't think that about my sister. I told them they don't even know the half of it. They were appalled by that. But I don't want to be called a dumb frick or told I'm ugly, to have her laugh at me when I do badly at math. I have dyscalculia. To have her make fun of me because I was upset my boss was hospitalized and he was pretty sick for a while. She's mean to a lot of people to the point I don't even bring my friends around the house or her, ever. But like I said, it's worse with me and it's all the time. The other side of things is my sister cannot be left unsupervised for long. She goes into her own world and will not eat or use the bathroom when needed. There were times she had extra tests done to see if anything else was going on. But nope. She also needed to be hospitalized before to help her with issues that came up as a result of her not using the bathroom and/or eating. My sister will shut down regularly, and it has put her in some dangerous situations. She will always need more help and won't ever be capable of living entirely on her own. My parents' plan was always for me to take care of my sister when they are no longer able, or when they're gone. I didn't mind before, but now, no, I'm not doing it. No. I do not have the patience to love her through all her shitty behaviour. It was always there, but it gets worse the older she gets, and I would not be a good fit. I could not just take it, and I don't want to. I don't want to take care of her. I wish I didn't have to see her every day as it is. A week ago today, my parents were telling me I needed to learn to be more patient and understanding with my sister because I would take care of her one day, and I told them they need to start saving for her future care because I won't do it anymore. I told them I will not deal with that every day for the rest of my life. I told them I want a family one day, and I would not expose my kids to her. They were angry and told me she's my sister, and I need to do better. The past week has been strained with them telling me I'm treating her worse right now than she ever has. Am I the idiot? Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Not the idiot. My parents' plan was always for me to take care of my sister when they are no longer able or when they're gone. A week ago today, my parents were telling me I needed to learn to be more patient and understanding with my sister because I would take care of her one day, and I told them they need to start saving for her future care because I won't do it anymore. I told them I will not deal with that every day for the rest of my life. I told them I want a family one day and I would not expose my kids to her. They were angry and told me she's my sister and I need to do better. The past week has been strained with them telling me I'm treating her worse right now than she ever has. The main thing to understand is that they are scared. Terrified, in fact, of what will happen to her once they aren't there. They have no idea what to do, and that is why they took the easy way out of deciding that they'd simply sacrifice the rest of your life. It's a tough situation, but ultimately, they are the ones who brought her into the world, not you. They need to come up with an actual plan for long-term care, etc. Comment 2, not the idiot. What a horrible situation. Your purpose in life is not to take care of your sister or be abused. While your sister may not be able to control herself, that doesn't mean her behavior is okay, and it really is quite understandable that you don't want to take this on. It is incredibly mature of you to realize that you are not suitable for this task, and honestly, you are the only one making a rational adult decision in this topic. I'm sure your parents are exhausted, physically, emotionally, and financially from this. That doesn't justify their failure to protect you and be your parent too. Putting this burden on the shoulders of a 17-year-old is phenomenally poor parenting. I mean, FFs, they can't seem to do it, but they expect you to be able to. Comment 3, not the idiot wow. Just wow at your parents foisting that responsibility on you. Even if you were the best of friends, that's a lifelong commitment they were just expecting you to pick up. What about your life, your dreams, your future? Without the anger, you need to spell it out to them that you are your own person. You have a right to live your life and not just be a caretaker for your sister. I feel for her and her future. But your parents absolutely should start planning now for the update. The past few weeks has been the toughest stretch of my life. I found myself at the hospital more than I ever thought I would at 17. Right after my last post, my sister had a serious meltdown that we couldn't manage at home. She got hurt, and we had to rush her to the ER. It was a wake-up call for all of us, realizing that her challenges were more than just the mean comments and social missteps. Since then, there's been a lot of whispered conversations between my parents and a growing stack of medical bills and brochures for specialized care on the kitchen counter. They've been looking into therapy and care options, but resources are thin, and the insurance is not nearly as helpful as we'd hoped. I've seen my parents break down multiple times out of stress, out of fear, and I felt like a ghost drifting through the halls of our home and school. I've been pulling away more, not just from the situation with my sister, but from everything. My grades have dropped and my friends barely see me anymore. It's like I'm here, but not really here, you know? To make things even more complicated, last week we got news that our dad's job is downsizing. The timing couldn't be worse. The uncertainty about our financial future is suffocating, and the pressure that once I thought was unbearable now feels crushing. I've been reading a lot about sibling caregivers and the emotional toll it takes. It's scary to think about the future. I've been trying to talk to my parents about my concerns, but every conversation is cut short. They say we need to focus on the now and handle one day at a time. And with every passing day, I'm more convinced that I'm not cut out for this. I feel guilty for admitting it. I feel selfish, but it's the truth. I'm terrified of resenting my sister, of losing myself to a life that I'm not sure I'm strong enough to handle. So yeah, that's where I am now. Drifting, scared, and more lost than ever. I'm not sure what the next month holds, much less the rest of our lives. Now for the comments. Comment 1, not the idiot. It's clear from your story that you're going through an incredibly tough time, and it's important to recognize that your feelings are valid. It's a lot to ask of anyone, let alone a 17-year-old, to navigate the complexities of a family member's serious health issues, especially when it's coupled with financial stress and uncertainty about the future. You mentioned feeling guilty and selfish for admitting that you may not be able to handle the situation, but it's crucial to understand that acknowledging your limitations isn't selfish. It's a necessary step towards seeking the support you need. Your mental health and well-being are just as important as any other member of your family, and it's essential to communicate this to your parents, even if the conversations are difficult. It may help to find a time to talk when there are fewer distractions, or even to write down your thoughts and feelings to share with them. Remember, it's not about competing for who has it worse, but about ensuring each family member gets the support they require. You're not a jerk for needing help or feeling overwhelmed. You're a human being in a challenging situation. If you like this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.